Okay, guys, I'm here today with Neil Melanson. Huge honor for me, Ty. And guys, Neil is showing an entire instruction all about back attacks. And can you explain a little more, Neil?
Yeah, just attacks, submissions, and things and sequences when you're on the back mount. That's what basically it's all covering.
No, and I'm very curious because I love all your chokes from like front headlock, guillotines, and all that type of stuff. And I can just imagine how nasty it might be from the back. So.
Well, I'll show a simple one today that I like, and there's a reason why I do it, because every time I'm teaching or I'm working on something for myself, it's always the if this fails, where do I go?
Good.
And that's super important to me, because that's how things happen. And I need to constantly bottleneck people. That's kind of how you control people in no-gi, in my opinion. It's like, well, I can't slow the game down necessarily, but if I can create certain positions and angles where if you turn left, I know I'm going to do this. If you turn right, I know I'm going to do that. I'm controlling you because I know where you're going to be and I know what I'm going to do. So I'm always ahead of you. And so it's not like I'm physically slowing the game down, but I have my, it's like you have like a transition control.
Good. Almost like chess, right? You're always like steps ahead.
Yeah, and it's important because especially when the lighter weights, the game moves so fast.
Right.
So fast. You can't just constantly be reacting.
Right. And that's one very interesting thing about your career, because even though you're very heavy, a bunch of your students were very light, right? So it was probably like a challenge to...
Yeah, well, a lot of guys that influenced me were lighter guys. They were like Caro and Manny Gambarian. They moved super fast. I had to lose weight to try to move fast. So I do a lot of strange things like that. And I did teach a lot of different fighters, like Mike Chandler, Dom Cruz, smaller athletes. And you have to understand the small man's game.
Yep.
The heavyweight game is different too. And so when you work with heavyweights, you have to change things, because the scrambles aren't as fast. Guys are hitting way harder. These things you have to pay attention to these things. So you don't waste the athlete's time or, God forbid, get them hurt.
Good. So anyways, I'm very curious to see this.
All right, so I'm just going to show a little bit of a back position. It's nothing fancy, but I'm going to explain why I personally like it. And it's one hook in. All right, so when I do one hook in, I'm gonna ideally, you might not always get this leg shelved and hooked, all right? But what's important here is I squeeze my thighs. And if you feel a little uncomfortable on your pelvis, this right here keeps a little strong. And the reason why I like this is I know where he's gonna go, okay? You have to, if I'm not relaxed here, there's a knee bar he can attack here. So once I squeeze, I take that away. So now when I'm here, if I have this hook in, I want the cross hook. So if my back attack will be here, right? And before I teach you the technique, I want to show you why I personally like this position. It's because I know he's going to turn away, all right? So if he's turning away, and I feel this, and I start to come up. Once I feel him turn away, keep turning, I come up and I go under the butt. Okay, and what this does, I want to load the weight on his hands. So I start lifting, and I can run him down and get back on top. And by doing that and having confidence that if I lose him and he starts turning away, I pop up, and a lot of times you want to go to the waist and chase the hips, but guys are good at swimming out and they'll get on top of you, all right? So go under the butt, load, do the butt drag, get the weight on the hand so he's not underhooking you, and run him down. And sometimes you get him stretched out enough, you can take the back again and flatten him out. But that's what I know where I'm gonna go if I fail. So I win the scramble and I get back on top. That's a good tactical decision. And that's why I like this, because he's not going to turn towards me and put weight on me. He's going to turn out.
No, and having this safety in mind that even if you lose the position is still good for you, gives you a lot more confidence to keep attacking, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it like baseball sometimes. A guy that gets a hit 30% of the time, is pretty good batter.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like you want to be high percentage on your finishes, but it's like you got to win your scrambles.
Good.
You got to win your scrambles because it's just super important. You can get real tired if you're not winning those scrambles. All right, so their scrambles are very important. Okay. Now, the technique I'm going to teach you is simple. A different way to attack the choke. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to short my wrist, and I'm going to lock an S grip, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross face. Now, when I'm cross facing here, this cross face is going to be much more painful because he's blocked here. If I did 2 hooks on him and I cross faced him, he would simply spin with it and face me. That's why people like the triangle body lock, because you could really cross face someone hard there. But that has its pros and cons as well. So when I'm here, I want to always protect this ridge. This is the ridge that does a lot of the damage if you're looking for a rear naked choke. If he gets a hold of this ridge, we're in a different pickle. But if he grabs this ridge, it's not going to stop me from flipping the other ridge under. So this is the ridge that's important. I want to be, if he grabs anything, he can grab that ridge. And that's why I'm here. Now I flip it, it goes under the chin. How I'm going to do it with the cross face, I'll show you the neck crank, and then I'll show you how I'll flip it for the choke. Okay, so I keep my hands short and I lock the S grip. You can see my ridge is down, okay? And I'm kind of wrapping over his teeth. Now, I could probably tap him out here, but normally what you're going to do is briefly keep your hands locked out here, lock your S grip, and what you do is you allow your wrist to wrap around his mouth. Don't like be rigid here, okay? You okay? Wrap that wrist. My elbow comes in, tucks it, and now I'm just simply going to turn my wrist. All right, so I squeeze it down, watch me turn my wrist. So what that does, that's not a lot of energy. I actually learned this variation from Billy Robinson. He was big on, if you wasted energy, he'd be all over you, you know, he barking at you. So these little details saves energy, okay? It makes you more powerful. So I wrap this around, okay, super tight. My shoulder is on his neck, so my shoulder drives him forward. This is that cervical snap you want, where the head is twisted, top goes forward, the bottom comes up, okay? I'm gonna now simply twist my wrist and give a little squeeze.
That's awesome.
Very short motion. You know, you could always cross face them and twist them, but you have worries that, hey man, you could start fighting you and beating you. So when you're here, short grip, S grip, and now it's simple turning of the wrist. If he beats my grips and he starts to move out, oh, I feel him, I'm winning the scramble.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And that's very different because everybody's thinking about like choking the opponent and going to the neck, and you're pretty much going like a head twist here, kind of.
I can show us another detail. When you're cross-facing like that, your thumb is right here under that chin. And when this cross-face hurts, what's going to happen, they're going to, a lot of times, because it's so tight, they can't slip it above their cheekbone, they'll start pulling it under their chin.
And then goes to the neck.
And then you flip it.
And goes to the neck. Oh,
and get
awesome.
the choke.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the crank is part of the rear naked choke. But you have to make the crank legit.
Good.
Otherwise, they'll just eat it.
Good.
You know? So you do the crank, it hurts so bad, they'll pull it under the chin. And then your golden egg. And it's just getting that flip. I'll just demonstrate real fast.
Oh, no, that's awesome.
Okay, boys.
Yeah. You wanna switch?
No, you can stay there, sorry.
Okay. So I have the lock. I'm here. I'm cranking. He grabs the top ridge, flips it, and now what's my thumb? Flip, goes under. Oh, pull it down. There's the flip. And I can start my choke or simply finish it here.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah, so we started the crank, and then if they defend it, you go to the choke.
Yeah, normally. Because they will pull it down and then you just flip.
Good.
And then
that's incredible.
get your normal finish.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, you just shared an entire instruction all about back attacks. And I think this is the one that everybody was requesting the most, right?
Yeah, a lot of people requested this.
Yeah, and
strangely enough.
And it's gonna come out soon at bjjfanatics.com. Maybe by the time you're watching, it's already there, so make sure to check that out. And thanks so much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.